Patents are the lifeblood of the biotechnology industry. Patents are especially important in the area of stem cells because in stem cell research, there's a lot of coverage, not only of specific cell types, and of course cell types are difficult to patent, but also different functionalities of the cell types and different uses of the cell types and different combinations between cell types and other compounds that are known in the earth. Now, I'm going to address a very important issue which is in front of the Supreme Court. This issue is the issue of patent obviousness. In order to get a patent in the United States, you have to meet 3 criteria: novelty, usefulness, and non-obviousness. The first 2 are relatively self-explanatory. The third issue that has the third criteria of obviousness is a little bit more difficult because, taking a step back, the patent is a contract between the state and the inventor. In return for full disclosure to the state of how to make the invention, the inventor is granted a limited monopoly to block others from using his invention. In order to get this monopoly, the inventor has to prove that his invention was, amongst the other 2 criteria, the third one, non-obvious, that it was a eureka moment or something such a big step forward in comparison to what was known at the time, that for his genius or for that discovery that was not obvious, he is granted, or she is granted, the monopoly. Now, this question, how does one figure out what is non-obvious enough? What is this flash of genius, as some other judges described? Well, according to the conventional analysis, which is being tested out right now in the Supreme Court, the conventional analysis by the Supreme Court has been to ask the question, is it non-obvious to one of skill in the art at the time of the invention? If the answer is yes, then you cannot get the patent. Now, the Supreme Court has not heard an obviousness case for several decades now. In this period of time, the federal court made a new standard of obviousness. This standard being the teaching suggestion motivation test, or the TSM test. Basically, TSM asks the question, is there any teaching suggestion or motivation out there that is pushing the inventor to combine 2 ideas? If there is, then you do not grant the patent. If there is not, if there is no documented evidence of any teaching suggestion or motivation to combine the 2 references or the several ideas, then the patent is granted. And why this is very important is because when the federal court adopted this test, teaching suggestion motivation, the patent office also adopted it. And as a result, many patents were issued which would fail, which would not have been issued under the Graham analysis. And how this affects biotechnology is because a lot of the patents, for example, patents on using a CD34 cell combined with a growth factor. There is no teaching suggestion motivation in the literature pushing someone to combine these 2 things, so the patent was granted. However, if you use a Graham analysis, it's obvious to anyone in skill in the art that CD34 cells cause angiogenesis and that FGF causes angiogenesis. So if you put the 2 of them together, then you should have an enhanced angiogenic effect. Now, the case in front of the Supreme Court, and this is probably one of the reasons why it was chosen, is because it was a very simple case. It involved, the case being KSR versus Teleflex. KSR has a patent, an issued patent, on taking 2 very simple things, putting them together. The first thing was the car accelerator pedals, which are adjustable. So if you're too short, you adjust it, and if you're too tall, you adjust it. Combining that with the electronic throttle control. Now, all of the new cars have electronic throttle control instead of the mechanical one. So KSR patented the combination of the two. Teleflex was actually manufacturing and infringing, apparently was claimed they were infringing on this patent. And what happened is, basically KSR's notion is that this patent is invalid, and it's invalid because it's obvious, and it would have been obvious to a mechanical engineer or somebody who builds cars at the time of the invention that you can put the electronic throttle control, put it together with the car adjustable accelerator pedal. And basically, a lot of attention has come to this case. Amicus briefs were filed, obviously, by the bio organization, the biotechnology industry organization, supporting Teleflex and supporting the TSM test. Other notable parties is the Solicitor General filed amicus briefs supporting the Supreme Court test, the test of Graham, which is the question, is it obvious to one of skill in the art? So this is going to be a very important case for us to watch in general for any innovative company, but especially in the area of stem cells, where a lot of the stem cell patents seem to have been granted based on the teaching suggestion motivation test and not under the Graham analysis. Thank you.